All right, previewing the Canucks and Maple Leafs 3 game set starting on Thursday night/afternoon, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Another game Saturday on Hockey Night in Canada, also 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Monday, same time as well. Canucks coming into this one falling apart a little bit. They're 6-7, fifth in the division. If you go by points percentage, they're actually sixth in the division, only ahead of Ottawa. Toronto, on the other hand, 7-2-1, putting them in second in the division in both ranking, points, and points percentage. These teams have not played each other this year, so this is the only team the Canucks haven't played, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that would be right. The Canucks coming into this one after a rough couple of nights in Montreal. They lost back-to-back games there to fall below 500. It's been a story of inconsistency for the Canucks so far. Their bottom six has been overachieving, with guys like Tyler Mott, Brandon Sutter putting up points, and the top six hasn't been living up to their potential. So the Canucks haven't really been able to get a full team win yet, with everyone firing on all cylinders, maybe except for that Winnipeg game the other day. The Leafs, on the other hand, they came into this season as the favorites of the North Division. They added some veterans such as Joe Thornton, Wayne Simmons. It's pretty much worked thus far. I mean, they're 7-2-1. Thornton's hurt, but we'll get to that later. They're coming off an OT loss at the hands of the Edmonton Oilers. They've won 4 straight against Alberta before that. So I think they won 2 games against the Flames and 2 games against the Oilers before that overtime loss. So they were on a good stretch. They're also rested. The Leafs haven't played since Saturday. So that's 4 full days off. Basically a 5-day gap between games going Saturday to Thursday. The Canucks, on the other hand, have not had any rest this year. They have played 13 games through 20 days. If you would go basically the Wednesday to the Tuesday. So basically call it 21 days even. 13 games so far for the Canucks this year. So 0 rest, and they're not getting any rest for a good while still. Leading scorers for both teams. For Toronto in 10 games, Mitch Marner leads the team in points. 5 goals, 9 assists for a total of 14 points. Austin Matthews has 6 goals, leading the Toronto Maple Leafs in goals. 4 assists, 10 points. John Tavares also has 10 points with 4 goals and 6 assists. William Nylander, 4 goals and 5 assists for 9 points, and Morgan Rielly, their leading defenseman, with a goal and 6 assists. On the Canucks side, 13 games played, and leading the Canucks in points and leading all NHL defensemen in points, albeit with more games played than any other defenseman, is Quinn Hughes with a goal and 13 assists so far this year for 14 points. Had a 3-point night against Montreal on Tuesday. Brock Besser, 8 goals, leading the Canucks in goals, second in the NHL, tied with Connor McDavid. For the Canucks here, 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points. Bo Horvat has 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points. JT Miller, 2 goals and 9 assists for 11 points. 11 points in 13 games sounds good, but JT Miller hasn't been performing great. And also Elias Pettersson, 4 goals, 4 assists for 8 points only. He also hasn't been himself, but looked like he might be hitting his stride a little bit in that Montreal game on Tuesday. Goaltenders in this series. The Toronto Maple Leafs are without Jack Campbell, and we'll get to that in the injuries side here. But for the Canucks, the 2 goalies here, Braden Holtby and Thatcher Demko, I would expect Thatcher Demko to start either 2 or all 3 of these games. My guess would be he plays maybe Thursday, Saturday, or Saturday, Monday. I'm pretty sure he'll get the start Thursday, and then probably Saturday as well. And if he performs well in both of those, then I wouldn't be surprised to see him play on Monday. So Thatcher Demko's 3-4 with a .909 save percentage thus far, .334 goals against average, so pretty average numbers so far. Pretty average save percentage, below average goals against average, because the Canucks have been facing about 38 shots a game. Braden Holtby, on the other hand, if he does get a start, is 3-3 with an .896 save percentage and a .363 goals against average. But you go to the Toronto side, and the goaltending doesn't get a whole lot better. Freddie Anderson, great record, 5-2-1, with an .892 save percentage and a 3.01 goals against average. And normally, like I said, Jack Campbell would be the backup, but he is out with an injury. So it would be the Hutchinson coming in. I have his stats for last year. He hasn't played yet this year, and he will not play unless Freddie gets lit up in one of these games, or if he gets hurt. But hopefully that doesn't happen. So if Hutchinson does play, last year he was 4-9-1 for the Leafs with an .886 and a .366 goals against average. So expect Anderson to start all 3 if he stays healthy. The injury report for this one for Vancouver, just Travis Hamonic and Jace Howerlick as well, but Howerlick wouldn't probably be in the lineup. Travis Hamonic on defense, he's listed as day-to-day, so he could return during this series. I wouldn't expect him to be in the lineup for the first game at least. On the Toronto side, 3 people missing here. Jack Campbell, backup goaltender, he's listed as week-to-week with a leg injury. Joe Thornton is listed week-to-week with rib injuries. And Nick Robertson also week-to-week with a knee injury. So we won't see any of them for the Maple Leafs in this set. So slight edge to the Canucks there. But Toronto is the better, more complete team. If I had to guess, for the Canucks, I think you're happy with 3 points out of this series. If you can go 1-1-1 against the Leafs, the Canucks are probably pretty happy. The Leafs are looking at this and saying, okay, the only team the Canucks have really beat handily is Ottawa. Let's try to take all 3 games off Vancouver. And I'm sure they'd be happy with winning 2 out of the 3 anyways. That's all I've got for this preview. Make sure you stay tuned. We got post-game recaps after each of these 3 games and every Canucks game all season long. I also do previews like this before every Canucks set. We also do a bunch of other stuff. Any news that comes out, some longer form stuff like should Jim Benning be fired, I'll link to that video up here if you want to go watch it. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you after the game on Thursday.